What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. It is episode number 11, it is the season finale, our final game of season 2 at the Rhein Energy Stadion in the Bundesliga, where after our draw against Augsburg, we dropped to 5th in the table and heading to the final day, 1 point behind both Leipzig and Leverkusen due to the goal difference swing. We must beat Union Berlin at home to have any chance of finishing either 3rd or 4th, but if Leverkusen beat Hamburg and Leipzig beat Wolfsburg, to be fair, tough game for them away at the Volkswagen Arena. Doesn't matter what we do, we will stay in 5th. So have to win and have to hope that one of either Leipzig or Leverkusen drop points. Just before we play the game though, real briefly, we do see that we do have one of our youth players unsettled. That is Daniel Dennis, affectionately known as DD in the academy now. 80 to 86 potential, 18 years old. We're getting the pro deal, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, touch wood, that no one else asks for one. So I'll quickly check his potential, then we'll add him to the loan list, and then we'll jump into the first game today. Or is he right back? Isn't he right back? Where is he? There he is right there, showing great potential. So we'll add him straight to the loan list and get him out for next season. Right, final game of the season, first and only game today. Union Berlin at home, where again we must win to have any chance of finishing either 3rd or 4th. Do that, and if one of Leverkusen or Leipzig slip up, we will indeed jump into and claim a Champions League place. Union Berlin, for context, have got nothing to play for, so this should be a banker, and all we can do is do our job. Let's go do it. Come on, Cole. Something I wanted to point out as well as the game gets underway as Curtis Jones finds a bit of space, back heels, and Schaefer is... Oh no! Gonna strike and give Union Berlin the lead. But what I was gonna say is denied by a comfortable stop from Schwabe, who has been so good for the 2nd year in a row. Does he see it late? Not really. I mean, I thought it might have come through a couple of bodies, but in actual fact, he's got a clear sight of that ball, and he's just dropped a bit of a clanger. All season long, this guy's been so good between the sticks, just like last year, where he was joint best in clean sheets. He's got to save that, though. He's got to save that. Worst possible start to a must-win game. We're 1-0 down. Sorry, what I was going to say is that no matter what happens on the final day, it's still been a great season because the board said just qualify for a European competition. So it doesn't matter if that's Europa League. The board is still more than happy with that. They would have been happy with Conference League. But it's like, as Ranks goes for goal and it's turned behind for a corner. It's one of those where it's like, if you look at the season, do you know what I was actually reading a post on Reddit, funnily enough. It was someone talked about Liverpool's season, and on the back of their loss to Everton on Wednesday night, a big damaging blow that might well be possibly the KO blow in the race for the title. Someone was saying if the season happened in inverse, or reverse if you will, it's a pretty good season, all things considered, but it's just the way it's come to an end that's quite disappointing, unfortunately, for Liverpool. You know, it's kind of the same with his current team. It's like, if you look at the season in reverse, it's like, it's been a good season, knowing it will qualify for the Europa League, but knowing the Champions League football was within our grasp. We were several points clear in the top 4, but after a tough run, and a tough end of season run, we're going to come up short. We'll do it for the half, and we are 45 minutes away from guaranteeing a 5th place finish, which again, I will stand by it, is still a fantastic 2nd year for us at the Rhein Energy Stadion, but it's just going to be a bitter ending. No goal updates elsewhere though, so as things stand, if we turn this game on its head, we'll finish in 3rd or 4th. And again, I'm saying that knowing full well that there's no way to know exactly what the scores are around the grounds, because if you don't play career mode or you're new to career mode, you might be forgiven for thinking, well, if you turn goal updates on at the start of the game, or pre-game I should say, surely you're going to be updated when a goal gets scored. And I can hear a few titters of laughter from those of you who are experienced career mode players, because you will know just like I do, unfortunately, it's not how it works, even though it should. Yeah, goal updates only come sporadically, and oftentimes don't get shown at all. So what a goal. Gilles, what a time to get your first goal of the season! But we need another one. Class run, class finish, first goal for the club, 1-1. Yep, sometimes you'll be updated for all of the goals in one particular game. Sometimes you only get a single update. So pre-game, I'll quickly overlay it on the screen right now. Pre-game, I turned on the goal updates for both of the matches we'll keep an eye on at the Volkswagen Arena. and at the Bayer Arena too, but it just doesn't matter. We haven't had anything. we've had over an hour's worth of football, and we still have no idea what's going on there. In theory, you think, oh, it must be 0-0 in both games, but really, it could be any scoreline you want. There's no way of knowing for sure. Tillman shrugged off, and there is a goal update there, and it's Leverkusen who take the lead. Oh, Kevin Volland opens the scoring. So as things stand, it doesn't matter what we do here, we'll finish below Leverkusen, even if we find, oh, Schwabe again redeeming himself. Couple of amazing saves there by number one in quick succession. But we don't know what's going on at the Volkswagen Arena. To be fair, I felt Leverkusen would win quite comfortably anyway. It's the Wolfsburg game I'm more concerned about, as Martel goes down. But he's going to have to soldier on for the rest of the game, man. Like, seriously, like, I know you're hurt, but there's only 17 minutes of the season to go. You got to stay out there, bro. Let's go very, very aggressive in the late stages. In fact, you know what? I will take off Martel, and I'm going to bring on Fink Grafe, who does have better crossing. So if need be, if we came forward, might be able to possibly whip a ball in with that LCB. And I'm going to bring on Lemperle for Ozcan to go very aggressive in the final 15. Well, it's now or never. Like, it's now or never. So, need to find a winning goal. Otherwise, it's going to see us come up short. I think that is going to do it. It's still 1-1. Union Berlin over the corner. Got to get the ball forward. It's deflected up in the air. And is there enough time for... No, one late chance. It's going to do it. It's going to do it. Came up short on the final day, just did not have the legs to get over the line. To be fair, going a goal down early, always going to put yourself in a hole, and just didn't have what it takes to come back. We at Man City, but it might not have mattered anyway. I'm sure Leverkusen won, and if Leipzig won, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I'm still calling it a good season regardless, but a 5th place finish. I mean, when you looked at that bench there and we were making the changes, I mean, it was light, very little quality to it, and Leverkusen won and Leipzig won, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I had a bit of hope that Wolfsburg might have held Leipzig, but to be fair, these guys are champions. They were the champions, I should say. Won the domestic double last year, back-to-back DFB Pokal winners. I felt they'd probably put it out, and they did, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, so not too gutted about the slip up. In the end, like I said, if you did the season in reverse, it's an amazing year. But it does have a slightly bitter ending. Not that it would have mattered how we won on the final day or not. So Bayern back on top of the throne after missing out last year. They now retake their place as champions of the Bundesliga. Dortmund finishing in second, 6 points behind them. And again, in the end, wins on the final day for both Leipzig and Leverkusen. See them both hang on to Champions League spots in 3rd and 4th. We finish in 5th with the league's best defensive record. Only 22 goals conceded in 34. That's what our game's built on, man. But it does go to show you on the other side of the pitch, that's where our problems lie. 39 goals in 34, that's one of the big reasons why we didn't turn some of those 10 draws in to wins. But a 5th place finish, Europa League football. I would have bitten your hand off at the start of the season to take that, so I'm not disappointed, even though we may have slipped up in the last 2 games of the season. Wolfsburg will join us. I know they're Conference League. Wolfsburg are Conference League, and the other teams in the top 10 are Frankfurt, Hoffenheim, Stuttgart, and Freiburg, with the bottom 3 this year being Hamburg and Hertha back down to the 2nd tier, and Hannover 96 will play the relegation playoff for the 2nd year in a row. Oh, and how bad was the Martel injury, just real briefly? It was a bruise, so wouldn't have mattered in the end for Eric Martel. Just a bruise. And nothing to concern yourself with. He'll be fine for the start next season. As for the individual awards this year, well, Harry Kane can't stop scoring, and this year fires Bayern to a Bundesliga tie to a 23 in 33. Openda, 2 goals behind him. Julian Brandt in 3rd, Koeman in 4th, and Richarlison finished in 5th. We did have, despite our poor goal scoring season, a man in the top 12. That was Davy Selke in 11th with 14 goals in the 34 games. Where would we be without Davy Selke, man? It's unbelievable how important this guy is to me. I've said this before, if Davy Selke doesn't score, we don't win 9 times out of 10. Musiala won the assist title, so no back-to-backs for Mad Max. So he did have a nice run towards the end of the season, getting into the top 10 with 6 in 31, but still did take a step back in his assist numbers this year. Davy Selke was also top 20 for assists as well, and Mine was in there too, as they both had 4 apiece. But as for the Golden Glove, Schwab might not have kept a clean sheet in the last 2 games, but still did win the Golden Glove. 19 in 34. I need to look up the record for what that is, but 19 in 34 for Schwab, and unfortunately that howler on the final day, well, in the end, didn't cost us what would have been a Champions League place. So he's probably the luckiest man in the world right now. Just looks up real quick. Most clean sheets in Bundesliga season. There we are. Wow, what a shocker. Manuel Neuer, 21 in 34 for Bayern. So Schwabe, to be fair, had a chance to equal it had he kept clean sheets in the last 2 games. I still can't get over the fact that goal went in. Like, he's been amazing for us, absolutely amazing, but really dropped the ball there, almost literally. But obviously, in the end, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But as for the team of the tournament, we got DJ in there. DJ is in there, and rightfully so. Neuer, despite not winning the Golden Glove, did get in the team of the season. This happens every single year. This is clearly just a bug. You know, the goalkeeper of the tournament, if it's yours, never gets a team of the season. It's clearly a bug, and it needs to be fixed. But we saw DJ get in there. Was anyone else? No, the others were Dortmund, Bayern, and Leipzig representatives. And John for Hoffenheim. But DJ, the teenager, making it in there, and rightfully so. He was player of the season. He was player of the... Harry Kane. Kane player of the season, as well as the Golden Boot winner as well. Lovely stuff. And so, as we take a look at the other leagues and the cup competitions as well, it's a complete swap from the Bundesliga to the Two-Liga once again. Bochum and Darmstadt up automatically. Heidenheim made the playoffs, and as you'll see, they beat Hannover. So a complete swap from Season 1. They're just taking each other's places again. And as for the Free Liga, for those curious, Jan Regensburg are up as champions. 1860 Munich enter the Two-Liga, and it's Waldorf in the playoffs in the third tier. As for the DFB Pokal, obviously last season Leipzig won it, so that was back-to-back DFB Pokals for them. This year, whilst they did manage to go to the quarterfinals, they were eventually knocked out by Eintracht Frankfurt, so a new winner this year, and in the Dortmund-Frankfurt final, the former came out as winners by 3 goals to 0. The Europa Conference League this season, very interesting indeed. Well, are we going to see them win it in real life as well? Aston Villa beating Feyenoord in a final by a single goal to 0. Foreshadowing, possibly. As for the Europa League, well, of course, we'll be in this next season. Looking forward to it. Cologne in European football. In the end, as you will see, a couple of English sides making the semis. One of them made the final, but it came up short. Inter Milan beating Manchester United by 2 goals to 0 in the Europa League final. And as for the Champions League, going to go through all the groups here and go all the way to the final as always, so you can take a full look at what happened in the competition this season. Some really tough groups as well. Some really feisty groups there. I thought it was really cool the way they were distributed. But in the end, as you'll see, heading into the final 4, Arsenal beat Dortmund, Milan beat Atletico. And I guess what a year to be from the city of Milan. Inter Europa League winners, AC Milan Champions League winners. As for some other leagues around the world, starting off with the Premier League, where they might have come up short in the Champions League final, but Arsenal have reclaimed the Premier League after so long of waiting, finishing 2 clear of Man City. Manchester United and Liverpool were the other teams in the top 4 this season. I'll do the EFL as well. Plymouth, Argyle and Charlton Athletic the top 2, and the playoffs being Huddersfield, Portsmouth, Bolton and Reading in England's 3rd tier for this season. And as for the 4th tier, Wigan champions, Mansfield Town, the Stags in 2nd and Gillingham in 3rd. Playoffs, Doncaster Rovers, Notts County, Colchester and Walsall as well, with Accrington Stanley propping up the 4th tier. Marseille, champions of Ligue 1, finishing 3 clear of PSG to win their first Ligue 1 title since 2010. Different champions all over in Italy. Inter winning the Europa League, Milan winning the Champions League, Rome winning the Serie A. I don't be surprised if Napoli or Fiorentina or Atalanta or Juve or Lazio won the Coppa Italia. Trophies distributed evenly in Italy. I love that. Final champions of the Eredivisie, finishing 3 clear of Ajax. Arne Slot getting their 2nd in a few years now. Obviously, he's very, very hotly tipped to become the next Liverpool manager. Very interesting indeed, and he's doing some great job at Feyenoord early into his stint there, so it'll be interesting to see if he does make the move to Anfield in the summer. Porto, champions of the Liga Portugal, 2 clear of Benfica and 8 clear of Sporting in 3rd, with Braga in 4th in Portugal's Primeira Liga. And as for the Scottish Premier League, it was Rangers on top, 11 clear of Celtic, at the first phase, if you will, but as I always say, you've got to assume they end up winning the championship, so there's nowhere to check after that. And as for La Liga, Real Madrid 6 clear of Atletico, with Barca in 3rd and Real Sociedad in 4th in this year's Spanish top tier. I can't help but always show the Turkish Super League. I just so badly want to go back there, man. You've got no idea. It's been 2 years. I want to return. Fenerbahce, they've returned to top of the tree in the Super League this year after, I think it was Trabzonspor won it last year, I think it was. And as for the MLS as well, this kind of just got started, but FC Cincinnati are currently top and 1 clear of Messi's Inter Miami. I believe this is the second year is always Messi's final year ordinarily in my save. So do you want to check that and see if I'm right? Right now, 1 point behind Cincinnati. Yep, there he is. Is this his final year? It's not. He's going to play one more year and see if he can recapture or put Inter Miami back on top spot. And so to end the season, as always, we take one final look at the squad. Quick recap of our year this season at the Ryan Energy Stadion and assess what we're going to need to improve on in the summer transfer window. There is no doubt about it to me. I said in the first 2 years we don't need to worry about depth because we weren't playing European football. In the Bundesliga, there's only 34 league games. There's only one cup. In my opinion, German football's got that spot on. That's how it should be. But we're going into Europa League next year. We're going to need more depth. If we do want to compete for a top 4 place again, I mean, you kind of saw it when we were making the subs in that final game. I looked at my bench and I was like, who the hell am I bringing on to make the difference here? Do you know what I mean? Kynes possibly his final game, Lamperli is 72 overall. There wasn't really anyone that I could look at as my ace up the sleeve, if you will. So for next season, that's the key. I like the first 11. I really like it. It's youngish. Yes, okay, we've got Davy Selke, who's now 30. Schwabe, I think, is 30 as well. But for the most part, it's a young first 11 for the most part. But it's the bench and the resis that I'm most concerned about. We had a few injuries this season, particularly in the final third of the season. We need more quality and depth, I would say, and possibly like an ace up his sleeve, a trick off the bench to bring on if we are to hopefully make the next step up for next season. But it's still a great season no matter how you look at it, despite the disappointing end to the campaign. Schwabe, 19 clean sheets and 34. At some point, we'll look for a long-term replacement. We've already got one, actually, in Urbig, of course, out on loan at Galatasaray right now. But despite the clangor on the final day, it's still had an amazing year, winning the Golden Glove and still getting better at 30. So it doesn't need to be replaced yet, which is why I'm pleased to see this. Jonas developing nicely out in Turkey right now with Galatasaray. Keep on going there, young man. I'm keeping my eye on you. He's the successor, but I'd say he's got another year or two left before he takes over. Nikish is out of contract coming the end of the season. I'm going to let him go. We've already got a great goalkeeper in the academy and the one that's come out as well in Henrik Thomas, who's joining Darmstadt for next season. So looking forward to that. He's going to be in the Bundesliga with Darmstadt next year. Pakarad is joining Bournemouth in the summer. Totally fine with that. First season back for Ismail. It was all right. Grew 3 ratings, 1 assist in 32 games and 18 clean sheets as well. Ironically, I thought it was going to offer me more on the offensive end than the defensive end. It turned out to be the other way around. Funny how that so often works in Korea. But even so, got 3 ratings this year, so glad to have brought him back. And already, if we were to sell him, we'd make a little profit on the Senegalese international. I think Grafe up to the 73 overall. I don't know how much better this guy's going to get now. He's lost his place in the starting 11 with Jacobs coming back. And as an LCB, I did say I could see him playing there. 74 strength, the jumping's not the best, granted, but he is 6 foot with good defensive stats. But really, he's like 5th choice now, behind Leonard Maloney, who we bought in, changed to CB, despite originally being a CDM. Didn't play him much, but he was all right. He's behind Bright Arian B, who had a great run towards the end of the season, scoring a goal, that crucial leveler against Leipzig in 5 games. Didn't play much, but he's growing nicely. Might actually try and loan him out next season, depending on how we're looking in terms of squad depth, as Baku Canada's grown free and helped Darmstadt get promoted. Ronnie Hahn, for those curious, this is one of our best youth prospects. He's grown 4 ratings with Sheffield United at Bramwell Lane. So he's growing really nicely under Chris Wilde. He's only 17 years old, man. Up 4 ratings this year, thrown into the deep end at Bramwell Lane, and he's still got 1 more year left on that loan as well. So absolutely love that. Keep on progressing, mate. I'm keeping my eye on you because I do see you as my long-term partner for this guy. DJ, team of the season, first common player in the team of the season, 4 assists, and he got a goal as well, his first goal in pro football in 34 games, but most crucially 19 clean sheets as well. He's my best defender. Even though Eric Martel's played alongside him this year and far higher rated, DJ's my best defender, man. Physically, this dude's a beast. He's rapid. He's got 88 stamina, 85 strength. Mentally, 79 aggression, 72 interceptions, and technically as well, 80 defensive awareness. That's amazing on a 19-year-old. And great defensive stats as well, with 70 short pass and 68 ball control as well. Very handy when playing out from the back. Tiano Balde grew 2 ratings this year. Came in mainly just to be a backup right back for Jaleur, and yeah, he was solid, got a goal, got an assist, did pretty well in the games he was called upon. Sometimes actually played him right mid as opposed to right back, and at times when I did play him slightly further up the pitch, he was fine. he was fine. Possibly a long-term position change for him there, because going forward, he's got some good stats, man. 70 crossing, yes, division's low, but great short pass, great ball control and dribbling and agility, and of course, he's quite quick as well. So, yeah, did well when filling in at either right mid or right back. Gillera, of course, came in, though. What a signing he was, man. I mean, so when you talk about budget buys, bringing this guy from Copenhagen cost us basically nothing. Grew 4 ratings to 77 overall, and he's still getting better at just 21. I have to say, we've pulled off a couple of great bargains in this save so far. This is definitely a contender for the biggest one so far, man. He was an absolutely amazing pickup. Yes, only the 1 goal and no assist, but on the defensive end, solid as hell. And again, up 4 ratings too. That tells you all you need to know. Just real briefly on this, Daniel Dennis, who we got out of the academy at the start of the episode, I've agreed a loan move to Rangers, who's going to go to Ibrox for 2 years. That's a great move for him there. And hopefully he'll get the first team foot at Ibrox, like Ronnie Harn's getting at Bramwell Lane. So we'll loan him out for 2 years and see how he gets on there in Glasgow. Jansen's grown 2 at newly promoted Heidenheim. So he'll be in the Bundesliga next season. We can track his stats fully. Not sure how much he's playing there, to be fair, at Heidenheim. I've got a feeling that Dennis is going to surpass him not before long, so he might just end up being sold when he comes back at the end of next season. Özcan, brought back from Borussia Dortmund. Got to be honest here, didn't get much out of him, but he is a DM, and again, not a CM. And as I always say, DMs are criminally undervalued by EA in terms of the stats. 1 assist in 24 games, but primarily just here to protect the back line. He grew 1 rating before the injury, before he went down. But yeah, I didn't plan to bring him back this year, but in the end decided to bring him in after Udinese put a transfer offer in. He's fine. He's totally fine protecting the back line. At some point he'll be replaced, but still stay as a squad player and an academy grad as well. Eric Martel, though, a decent season for him, grew 3 ratings and stayed injury-free too. Played all of our Bundesliga games, every single one of them. Got an assist and 19 clean sheets in 34. I haven't done it yet, but practically all of his 34 games, well, not practically all, but I'd say about 75 to 80% of his 34 league games this year came as a centre-half alongside DJ. I haven't changed the position yet, but I'm thinking about doing it in the off-season, because that, to me, is where we're getting the best out of him right now. As a DM, he's totally fine. He can even play slightly further forward if need be, but as a centre-half alongside DJ, the only concern really is the lack of aerial ability. Yes, he's over 6 foot, with 79 jumping, 71 heading, and 81 strength isn't the best, but other than that, I mean, alongside DJ, he struck up a great partnership with Jansen, one of the big reasons why we had the best defensive record in the division. So for now, I'll keep him at CDM, but I am considering in the summer turning into a CB. Linton Miner had a great year this season until the injury, unfortunately. 4 goals and 4 assists in 24, and then, of course, went down and missed the remainder of the season, apart from that final day. But better than last year from Linton, much more productive, and grew a rating as well. So I really like this guy. At some point, he'll probably have to come off the bench, but for now, I really like him on that right-hand side. Cohen Bakker, by the way, up 8 ratings. Couldn't save Hertha Berlin from relegation, but grew brilliantly at the Olympiastadion. He said, I can't do it on the pitch, but I can certainly do it in the training ground. Yeah, this guy grew 8 ratings, and he'll get another year on loan with Hertha in the second tier next season. Christensen barely played him this year. I might just add him to the transfer list in the summer. He's out of contract coming the end of the season. As a young Danish midfielder, he's alright. He's still growing incredibly slowly, but out of contract coming the end of the year. We got, again, better youth players right now, so I'm probably just going to sell him for a small transfer fee in the summer and get his salary off the books. Astor Franks came in from Wolfsburg. Wasn't my first choice, but he did alright. 2 goals and 4 assists in 26 games. I just never really knew what his best position was, and when you look at the stats, I think you can see why. He's sort of like a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none sort of player. Like, going forward, I primarily used him at CAM, but then there were times when Simons would play CAM, and I'd relegate him to CM. And when he was at CM, it was kind of useless, didn't really do anything for me. All of those 6 direct goal contributions, I think, came from when he played CAM, so didn't really know how to get the best out of Astor, but maybe next year things will be different. Hussein Basic, the Bosnian, again, might sell in the summer. I think he's got 2 years left in his deal. Yes, he does indeed, but up 2 ratings. Didn't use him much, mainly just off the bench, but I guess we'll see. Don't forget Kynes, the captain, club captain. He's leaving in the summer to join our rivals, Borussia Mönchengladbach. That was a shocker, man. I thought he was for sure going to join FC Porto. Nope, he wants to stay in the Bundesliga. He said, sod European football, sod playing in Porto at the Dragao. No, I'm going to stay here in Germany, not uproot my family in West Germany, stay where we are, and play for the rival team. Did not expect that. Villain arc for Florian Kainz, I guess we'll see. But Lefebvre has grown 5 ratings out on loan with Las Palmas in Spain. I'll keep your eyes on how he gets on next season after another year he's got out on loan there with UD Las Palmas. Simons, though, like I said, this year took a step back in terms of assists. Had half the amount of assists he got last year. Last year he had 12 assists. This year only 6. But what he lacked in assists this year, he made up for in goals. Last season only scored 1 goal for us all season long. This year he got 5. So yeah, far better in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. Not as good creativity. But sometimes it's just how it goes, like in sport, and sometimes in life as well. You improve one skill and one of your others takes a step back. It's just how it works sometimes. You want to become a complete player. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a speciality to become more well-rounded. That looks as though how Max is going right now. But 31 games, 5 goals, 6 assists, and still getting better, up 4 to 77 overall. Still has that potential to be special tag. He should keep hold of it. Touch wood, fingers crossed. I'll let you know in the summer. Jan Tillman played all of our league games this year. Much better than last season. I did not get on with him at all last season, man. Barely had anything from him in terms of productivity. This year, far better. Played every single game this season for us, including that DFB Pokal game. 7 goals and 4 assists in 34. Mr. Consistent. And with the high stamina, the rapid pace, good technicals as well. Yeah, I finally got more out of Tillman this year, and I'm pleased with that as well, being a Köln Academy graduate, so no plans to sell him for next season, of course. How long has he got in his contract? Ooh, I'm going to take care of that as soon as I turn the camera off. Volta, I'm going to try and loan him out in the summer. I haven't added him to the loan list yet, but I will do for the summer. Needs the game time if he's going to develop, so in fact, just going to do that now. Add him to the loan list. I'll try and get him out in the summer, and I'll let you know where he goes. Bakery Jata came in on a free from Hamburg just for the squad, and got downgraded, so not a great first year for the Gambian. Unfortunately, just couldn't really get him into the side much, to be fair, and he got the long-term injury as well, so not too surprised about that. Only the 1 year. I might just sell him in the summer, to be fair, and make a profit on the guy to bringing him in on a free. But as for Justin Deal, I must say I was really pleased with this. One of the top scorers in the Bundesliga this year, or one of the better scorers, I should say. 13 goals in 27 games. One of those come against us, don't forget, and he got 3 assists as well. This kid, man, he's a special player. He's a special player, and he needs the game time. That's why I'm glad he's got another year out on loan at Mainz for next year, and he'll continue to start there with Mainz. He's a really good player. At 4 ratings this year, and hopefully another 4 ratings next year if you can, Justin. Keeping my close eye on him, and glad he's a regular starter there at FSV Mainz. Benjamin Shaver, who we thought might be the new MJ, got a long way to go. Up 4 ratings though since we loaned him out in January to Hull City, and he's got another 18 months there in the northeast of England. Weber's growing really well, up 9 in Italy right now, which is a shock. I thought this guy had very little future indeed, but instead he's like, no, I ain't done, man. I'm going to prove you all wrong. Love to see that, as he's up 9 overall. And as for Davy Selke, once again, played all of our Bundesliga games. Once again, was our top scorer. Once again, I'll say it, this guy, if he doesn't score, we don't win. Like, it's as simple as that. I'm not calling us a one-man team, but it is true. If he doesn't score, we don't win. Up 3 ratings to 77 overall. And despite being 30, I'm still confident he'll be leading my line next season. He's just that good. Tigger's probably going to go in the summer. Didn't play even once this season. Not getting any better at 26. But as for Limperle, I'm going to give him a contract as soon as I finish the episode here. Scored a couple of goals off the bench. Got a couple of assists off the bench as well. All of his games came from the bench in the league this season. And up 2 ratings, 72 overall. 23 years old. Still getting slightly better in the background. As the backup for Davy Selke, don't really play him. But again, as a backup striker, he's doing about what I could ask, really, in very limited minutes, basically all off the bench as well. Same with Damien Downs, that 1 goal come off the bench. I would extend the contract in the summer. So that'll do it for the season finale of the Bundesliga career mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed the finale, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I will return in the next one with a brand new season as our 3rd year at the Rhine Energy Stadium gets underway. We'll have the summer transfer window. We'll play the first Bundesliga game as we're heading into Europe for the first time in the save with FC Köln. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for a brand new season, our 3rd with FC Köln, very soon.